In the world of Dark Souls, death is a constant companion, and perseverance is your greatest ally. But today, we're going to take a deeper dive to uncover why Dark Souls isn't just a game for most people. It's a life-changing experience. By the way, before we jump into this, I just wanted to note that about 99% of you are not subscribed to my channel. If you guys enjoy the content, please leave a like, subscribe, and even if you don't like it, please comment and tell me what you didn't like about it. I would love to hear your feedback. Anyways, guys, let's jump into it. Demon Souls and Dark Souls were basically so unique that they started an entire genre, not just for gameplay features, but for the unique storytelling as well. This same honor has really only been bestowed upon a few select games in history, like Donkey Kong for platformers, for example, and this honor is only bestowed because of genius design philosophy, in my opinion, and while Demon Souls started the genre, Dark Souls paved the way for its future. And I fail to comprehend what exact words could even hope to describe the importance and the magnitude of Dark Souls. I have so many fond memories of this game, and I feel that I should share why it is not only one of the most influential games in history, but this is also really just an excuse for me to profess my love to Dark Souls. And I'm sure I don't just speak for myself when I say this is my favorite series of all time. Dark Souls came out in 2011 as a spiritual successor to Demon Souls, and it not only upgraded basically every feature from Demon Souls, but it also added a ton of diversity to the gameplay, and by extension, the replay value shot up as well. Dark Souls lore, setting, and especially the difficulty have completely rewired the minds of gamers and game developers alike. I don't think the world was really ready for such a dark and moody game. The atmosphere in Dark Souls is not just palpable, it's completely unique. It is also the game that, in my opinion, truly brought back the insane difficulty of earlier gaming. Sorry, Ninja Gaiden. In a time where high difficulty was often considered tacky or borderline annoying. And I'm not just here to rant or praise for that matter, and there are so many reviews, retrospectives, and so many people who discuss how Dark Souls changed their lives. It changed my life as well, but that's not exactly all I'm here to talk about, and I'm certain you've heard every variation of that intro at this point, so I'll spare you the drawn-out tale, and instead, I'll leave it at this. The feeling of overcoming an immense challenge in this game is what truly made me feel that I could overcome the same immense challenges in my own personal life. And to a certain extent, it has helped me find the will to make it happen in my life. I'm aware that this sounds ridiculous, but think about it. When I fought Malenia, I had to literally keep trying the same thing over and over for more than 100 attempts in a row. And I've been playing these games for a decade, and I think that's the big takeaway regarding how Dark Souls and Elden Ring and all these games, the Soulsborne series as a whole, has changed my life on a personal level. In a time where honestly I was making all the wrong choices, Dark Souls helped me find the will to persevere. And this might sound a little bit ridiculous, but I actually think that the Souls series has helped me to be a little bit more patient. Especially when I'm playing video games, but just in all things. When I was younger and I played video games, I remember I would just get so angry, but when I began playing the Souls series, it kind of taught me to just be patient and just to take the game as it comes. And I don't think that's something that a lot of games can instill. From an outsider's perspective, it might seem like these games are for masochists or crazy people who just enjoy pain, but I think that's kind of the point, is that the pain is meant to teach us a lesson, and it's meant to temper our patience. Before this game, I do not remember ever hearing or seeing any game utilize music in the way that Dark Souls uses its music. It's absolute perfection. I just really enjoy the way that the music is used to help add sorrow and despair at the Quelaag bonfire. Shrine. Wonder and awe as we find Ash Lake. And of course, I can't go without mentioning that at the end of it all, at the end of this grand journey, instead of this bombastic, booming choir for our final boss's music, we get this sad piano. It's important to also take note that at this point we're not fighting Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight. He's Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder. I understand the complaints with the second half of the game. I'm not here to negate those complaints or to try and tell you that Los Izalith is like a perfectly designed area. It's not. It's not well designed at all. It's pretty bad. I wish that they had had more time to perfect that area because it should have been an amazing area. But I can honestly say I felt that the latter half of the game had some mixed areas. Not all, but some. I can honestly say I think the Duke's Archives, at the very bare minimum, was a pretty well designed area. Most people will not agree with this, but I actually love the Tomb of the Giants, I love the Catacombs, and I actually really kind of enjoy New Londo Ruins as well. Although I will say this, the actual level design itself is not as good in these areas. It is simply not. Is it as bad as it was in Los Izalith? No, absolutely not. Los Izalith is the peak of the rush development that you hear so much about from Dark Souls 1. I personally think that Tomb of the Giants and Catacombs get a bad rep just because they're dark. But atmospherically and lore-wise, that's exactly how they should be. It's a tomb. It's meant to be scary. Is it as well interconnected as some of the beginning areas of the game? No, but I've never seen anything in any other game that's as well interconnected as the first half of Dark Souls 1. So it's really not that big of an insult to say that the second half isn't quite as good as the first, when the first half of Dark Souls 1 is probably the greatest level design that I've ever seen. Dark Souls. This name evokes a profound sense of challenge, failure, and triumph. But why does this game resonate so deeply with so many players, changing their lives in unexpected ways? Dark Souls isn't just a game. It's a philosophical journey. The themes of suffering, sacrifice, perseverance resonate deeply with players on a personal level. These narratives invite introspection, leading you to ponder your own life battles. And of course, the story and lore is rich and sometimes heartbreaking. It made me personally reflect on my own struggles, my own failures. This game teaches you that it's okay to fall down. What matters is how you get back up. Whether you're studying for a big test, whether you're struggling with your family, with your friends, with your relationships, Dark Souls is the game that helped me to understand that sometimes you just have to push through it all. You just have to get back up and say, what can I do differently? What did I do wrong that made me fail last time? Many players find this newfound resilience spilling into their everyday lives. The lessons learned from the game become real and applicable in the real world. It's about not giving up in the face of adversity. For many people, Dark Souls represents more than just entertainment. It becomes a personal catalyst for change. It opens doors to self-discovery, determination, and most importantly, it has a community that supports growth. I cannot stress to you guys enough that if you feel the same as I do, if you feel that this game, or these games for that matter, it doesn't just have to be the first Dark Souls, guys. If you feel that they have been life-changing for you, please shout it out in the comments. I would love to hear your life story or how it changed your life. If you don't feel like getting too personal, I completely understand. Anyways, guys, Geek Central out.